All right, shalom, shalom. Kohalo Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and salutations to you brothers that's pushing the word in sincerity and truth. All right, so this is another live video. Um, uh, the uh, the title of this video is the end times are upon you, East Edom. Okay, and as you can see, man, um, let me go into it real quick. Let's see this. I'm Google start of government shutdown. And this government shutdown that you see on screen, you see the charades on the news media. Um, you see all of this madness that's going on. This is all a show. Okay, this is all theater. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, I don't know, but the government shutdown, partial shutdown, likely to continue until after Christmas. So we had the partial government shutdown.
All right, here's what we have: left, right, and reasonable. The difference among the three is on full display as this shutdown looms. Democrats don't want to fund the wall, but they will fund border security. In fact, they offered 5 times what's being asked for right now, not too long ago, to secure the border. The wall is all. That's the problem. The president sold a solid wall that would never be, and Mexico paying for it, which would never happen.
Now, see, this is all theater. It's about the wall. It's about the wall. All right, that's what you're led to believe, that this is about the wall. This is about the wall. I'm trying to find out the exact date of the government shutdown. If I'm not mistaken, it was December the 22nd. Keep in mind the date of December the 22nd. Let me see. Government shutdown. All right, it says the second shutdown of the United States government in 2018, which continued into January 2019, began at midnight, estimated on Saturday, December the 22nd. All right, so this happened Saturday, December 22nd. Okay, this was the start of the government shutdown. Now, I'm going to Google something else. The Federal Reserve. Okay. Second. Okay. Now on December 23rd of 1913, it was created on December 23rd, 1913, with the Federal Reserve Act. Okay, so the Federal Reserve Act was created. So Esau always does this type of thing. Now, December 23rd, 1913 was a pivotal year because the Federal Reserve Act was created. Now, this basically turned the Federal Reserve into a private entity run by the elite international bankers. Okay, and it's multiple families. You have the Rothschild family, you have the Morgans. These different families control this Federal Reserve Central Bank, which is not federal. All right, the only thing that the federal government has is the power of the executive branch, which is the president to appoint the different presidents of the 12 Federal Reserve banks, because we have 12 Federal Reserve banks. All right. December 23rd, 1913, it was created on December 23rd, 1913, with the enactment of the Federal Reserve Act after a series of financial panics. All right, partially the panic of 1907 led to the desire of a central control of the monetary system in order to alleviate financial crisis. Okay, so we know that the elite bankers, they're about Hegelian dialectic, order out of chaos. Okay, they create the situation and they bring forth the order. Now, the order is going to be the microchip. We know that this is coming, man. We know that the microchip is coming. Okay, because this financial this crisis in the form of a government shutdown is being used as a catalyst to push that new world order agenda. All right, Esau does he works as a he uses a series of events, all right, that's going to bring forth this new world order. Okay, and it just kicked off the 22nd of December 2018, which is, let me see, give me a second. I'm gonna do the calculations real quick though. I got 2018 minus 1913, which is about 105 years, okay, from the time that the Federal Reserve Bank was created. Now you have, so it took 105 years, okay, so we're in that time, 105 years. Basically, there was a great transfer or redistribution of wealth from the citizens, from the American citizen, all right, which is basically thievery, because once this Federal Reserve Bank was created, all right, this act was created, the Federal Reserve was created, the money became the control of the monetary system was transferred from the United States government to these private group of bankers, which basically print money out of thin air and charge interest on it. That's why everybody is poor, okay? And that's why basically what these international bankers said, one in particular, and I'm gonna get his name. I believe the guy's name was Colonel Edward Mandel House. Okay, and it was other statements that were made. As a matter of fact, let me go real quick. I'm gonna Google it. Quotes by Colonel Edward see if we can find some quotes by Edward Mandel House. Okay, let's see. All right, let me read this real quick. This is Edward Mandel House quote and the CFR. He was an insider. He was part of Woodrow Wilson's cabinet, which Woodrow Wilson he helped implement that Federal Reserve banking system, which was a great thievery of the wealth of the American people, the American citizen. Okay. All right, let's see. It says very soon every American will be required to register their biological property in a national system designed to keep track of the people, and that will operate under the ancient system of pledging. By such methodology, we can compel people to submit to our agenda, which will affect our security as a chargeback for our fiat paper currency. Every American will be forced to register or suffer not being able to work and earn a living. They will be our chattel, and we will hold the security interest over them forever by operation of the law, merchant under the scheme of secured transactions. Okay? Now, he's alluding to the microchip or the RFID technology. Okay? Because it says every American citizen will be forced to register or suffer not being able to work and earn a living. They will be our chattel, and we will hold the security interest over them. Now, keep in mind, Mandel House, okay, he lived over 105 years ago, okay, And basically, this was the agenda that they were pushing. And now that Esau is coming into his, he's coming into his final phase, all right, of implementing his agenda. And I'm gonna get some scriptures real quick. Let me go into the book of Revelation 13. The Spirit just had me going here. This is Revelation 13 and 16, because this is based off of a quote that Edward Mandel House said, and he's an Edomite. He's an insider, one of the CFR members, one of the cabinet of Woodrow Wilson. All right, and one thing that they said about Woodrow Wilson, which he was a president, he had no idea of how to run the country. He had advisors around him, and one of the guys that were around Woodrow Wilson was Edward Mandel House. Now this is Revelation 13 and 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the name of the beast, or the number of his name." Okay. Now, Edward Mandel House, okay, he said, by such methodology, we can compel people to submit to our agenda. Okay, now let's look up the word methodology. All right, let me see. It says a system of methods used in a particular area of study or activity. Okay, what is this methodology he's talking about? He's basically talking about social engineering, which the CFR, okay, which is the Council on Foreign Relations, they control the media, they control all the information that gets out to the people. So he says, by such methodology, we can compel people to submit to our agenda, which they're going to use the media, they're going to use the threat of wars outside of America, okay, to bring the people in fear. That's why everything that you see on the news and stuff like that, it's an agenda that they're pushing right before your eyes, okay? It says, we can compel people to submit to our agenda, which will affect our security as a chargeback for our fiat paper currency. Okay, now keep in mind, around that time, Edward Mandel House was speaking. He was down with the Federal Reserve. He was one of the agents of these elite international bankers. Okay, he basically was he's an agent. All right. It says every American will be forced to register or suffer not being able to work and earn a living. All right. They will be our chattel, and we will hold the security interest over them forever. But why? How? By making them take that chip. It says by operation of the law, merchant under the scheme of secured transactions. Okay. It says Americans by unknowingly or unwillingly delivering the bills of lading to us will be rendered bankrupt and insolvent forever, to remain economic slaves through taxation. And this is how Esau traps you up, through taxation. It says secured by their pledges. They will be stripped of their rights and given a commercial value designed to make us a profit, and they will be none the wiser. For not one man in a million could ever figure out plans, and if by accident one or two would figure it out, we have in our arsenal plausible deniability. Okay, and this is what Esau has. And not for nothing, when these scoffers, which are Edomites, these scoffers and scorners come up against us, one of the common things that they use is the method of plausible deniability. Okay, now let's look into that word plausible deniability, because this is what Edward Mandel House has had mentioned, all right, in his quotes, in his writings. Plausible deniability is the ability of people, it says typically senior officials in a formal and informal chain of command, to deny knowledge of or responsibility for any damnable actions committed by others in any organizational hierarchy, because of the lack of evidence that can confirm their participation, even if they were. Okay, so Esau, in his government, he uses the act of plausible deniability. All right, because there's a lack of evidence. We say, certain things we bring out on Esau, how he uses the black woman against the so-called black man, okay, to disrupt the family structure. All right, but Esau uses plausible deniability. We didn't do that, you know. All right, back to Manuel House. We're reading this excerpt. Now it says, after all, this is the only logical way to fund government by floating liens and debts to the registrants in the form of benefits and privileges. This will be inevitably reaped to us huge profits beyond our wildest expectations. Why? Because they use that Federal Reserve System, which prints out money out of thin air. Okay, and then they tax the hell out of the people, and then they create a different industry. They control the industry, and they tax the people. They tax the goods and services coming in. Okay, and they make money out of their wildest dreams. That's another form of how they stole the wealth from these American people through taxation. All right, levying taxes, controlling industry, controlling the food supply. Okay, that's how Esau has become rich. All right, let's go into the scriptures now. Traffic. Look at the word traffic. This is Ezekiel 28 and 3. It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Because why? Esau searches everything out. Okay, Esau is trying to explore the heavens. Okay, explore the deep. He's Esau even searches out the scriptures. They know that the scriptures are real. Okay, it says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. All right, because Esau is lifted up because of his of the way he's gotten his riches. All right, a lot of his riches were gotten by deceit. Okay, that's why the scriptures talk about. Let's go into the another scripture. Let's go to the book of Sirach, the 12th chapter. What is it? The 10th chapter. Let's go into Sirach, the 10th chapter. This is Sirach 10 and 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay? And their riches have been gotten by deceit. All right? Now I'm looking for some quotes by Edward Mandell House. You get some information. A good documentary to watch if you want to go into the Federal Reserve and how this stuff is set up. What we're seeing. All right, with this government shutdown, we're seeing the collapse of America being staged and people being distracted. Okay, that's all it is. It's a distraction. Okay, it's something big is coming down the pike, and it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. Looking at some quotes. Now look. This is what Edward Mandell House said. Okay, it said the plain people of this country, USA, are inveterate, and incurable hero worshippers. A man with a slogan that expresses their undefined aspirations can manipulate them easily. We hold all American newspapers, media today, as isolated from the non-American world as if they had been in another planet instead of another hemisphere. But he said the plain people of this country are inveterate, inveterate, and let's look up this word inveterate, all right? Because this is what Edward Mandell House said, inveterate. Inveterate, having a particular habit, activity, or interest that is long established and unlikely to change. Okay? It said there are inveterate and incurable hero worshippers. That's why you can put a man on a president up that says "Make America Great Again," or change we can believe in, or change you can believe in. And people follow that. People, eat that up, hook, line, and sinker. All right. Now this is another quote that now we I mentioned Woodrow Wilson. Now this guy Edward Mandell House. This is what Woodrow Wilson said when he signed over the Federal Reserve. When he signed that Federal Reserve declaration. Oh, man, this guy said, "I am a most unhappy man. I have unwittingly ruined the country. A great industrial nation is controlled by a system of credit. Our system of credit is concentrated the growth of the nation, therefore, and all our activities are in the hands of a few men." Okay, because this guy, he basically was set up. Okay, and all of these presidents are set up, man. All of these presidents are set up. He got played, man. These Edomites, man, they basically destroyed themselves, man. All right. It says, "By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, because thou hast set thine heart as the God, a heart of God. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness." Okay, that's why you Edomites, you so-called white people, it's your time to go down. Okay, and the Lord is going to completely destroy you Edomites, man. He's going to destroy you beautifully. All right. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 63. It's good to go into the history now, because why certain things are happening. You have to go into the history. The scriptures say that the things that are written before are written for our learning. A part of the being in this truth is you knowing history. You have to know the key players in history. This guy, these Edomites, as a matter of fact, let's go here real quick. These Edomites, they spill the beans on themselves, basically. And you just gotta look into these things that these Edomites have been saying, especially Edomites in top positions, insiders. This is Psalm 64:8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Okay, because they spill the beans on themselves. This is Isaiah 63:1. It says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?" Now, Basra was a major city in Edom. All right, in Edom, when you see Basra, when you see Teman, okay, certain names, Idumea, all right, in the scriptures, you should just automatically think of the so-called white man. Okay, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, travailing in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger. Who is the them? It's going back to Edom, Esau, Basra. He's talking about the Edomites. And who is this that's going to tread them down in his anger? This, the Most High, Yahweh Shah, the son of the Most High, Yahweh Shah. All right, because Yahweh Shah is going to bring his army, okay, and he's going to have the crowns of all these nations that he's going to take down. And Esau knows that, man. That's why they have space weapons and all types of documents or documents on the chariots, all types of intelligence and stuff like that on the chariot, because they know. Okay, even in their manuals, government manuals, they have manuals, contingency plans for if the chariots come. Okay, because they have first-hand experience of the chariots. It says, I have tried in the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is coming. We're approaching the day of vengeance, all right, in the year of redeemed. That's in the heart, okay. That's in the Heavenly Father's heart, okay. It says, and I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore, mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. So the Lord's going to be furious, okay? He's going to be ferocious. And I will tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down the strength to the earth, okay? That's why the scriptures say in what is this, Lamentations 4, it says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, okay? Because they're supposed to be rejoicing now, because they have it, man. Hey, look, Colonel House, man, he was this guy was a proud guy, man. He's a proud devil, man. Look at this proud devil, man. You know, probably wore the best suits and the finest of the finest, but he was nothing but a devil, man. And they write books and they publish certain things. And these things that they publish, these documents that these devils publish, okay, they teach these things in academia, in these schools, okay, like you got Yale, Harvard, all right, you got a different Cambridge, okay. They have certain classes of people, all right, that are groomed into this certain way of thinking that they have laid out, okay. The different tax exempt foundations that they have, like the Rockefeller Foundation, Stoneman Douglas, these different foundations that they have. This is how they funnel their money, okay, and launder their money, and they put their money into investing, and uh, 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 basically, they spend a lot of money in making sure that you jakes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are at the bottom. Okay, you never had a chance in America. Okay, this was never meant to be your rest. Okay, the scriptures say that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. All right, Psalm 83 it says, verse 2, it says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Now, like I had mentioned in the last video, now they're basically making anti-Semitism. They basically want to shut that down. Okay, so if you speak against the so-called Jewish people, which they're not the real Jews, if you speak against them, all right, they're gonna bash you. They have they're basically making Trump have a head of office to basically a head of office for somebody to look into all types of anti-Semitism, anti-Semitic um you know issues, you know, And basically, what that's a part of doing is you're not going to be able to criticize the state of Israel. All right, for these wars that's about to take place. Let me see if I can pull up this article real quick. Because this is the end of you Edomites now. Because as the more and more truth comes out, the more and more you have to demonize people that coming out and speaking against it. All right, and that's how you know America is not America no more. Because what do you have? The First Amendment. Okay, you have right to freedom of speech. But guess what? You're not going to have freedom of speech, especially in the time of war. There's no freedom of speech in the time of war. Right, so they put up new articles. It must be on the next page. Trying to look for it. The decline. Let's see, House Bill Force. Yeah, this is the article. This is from the Mint Press. It says House passes bill forcing Trump to nominate anti-Semitism head to monitor criticism of Israel. So they're going to have people in the government to monitor criticism of Israel. Okay? And guess what? We're at the top of the list to be monitored because we're the ones that saying that we're the true Israelites out on the highways and hedges. Okay? It says the U.S. House of Representatives. So the House of Representatives, they'll pass a law. Basically, they can come together 411 to 1 to pass a bill to force Trump to nominate an anti-Semitism envoy, a position that has been vacant since he took office. So they'll come together 44 to 1 to pass that bill, but they can't come together to find out a solution, all right, to get the government funded again and put these slaves back to work, man. All right, but when it comes to Israel, that's what people need to question. When it comes to the state of Israel, anything for the state of Israel, if they need funding, if it's a war, they'll come together for the state of Israel. All right, only one person opposed this. Okay, it says the bipartisan bill, which bipartisan means coming from both sides, so the Democrats and Republicans can come together on things when it comes to oppressing American people, but they can't come together with this situation with the funding. That's how you know this is nothing but a game, man. This is the law states that the special envoy shall serve as the primary advisor to and coordinate efforts across the U.S. government relating to monitoring and combating anti-Semitism, and anti-Semitic incitement in foreign countries. All right, wow, wow. It says the bill HR 221, Special Envoy to Monitor and Combat Anti-Semitism Act, was sponsored by Rep. Christopher H. Smith. Okay, but that's enough on that. All right, back to Psalm 82. It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Okay? For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and of the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. So you got Edom in there, all right? You got Amalek in there, which Amalek is the first of the nations. Amalek is the so-called Jew. Why do you think that everybody, or all of these Edomites, okay, you can't say anything about Israel, okay? But let's see what the scriptures say about Amalek. All right, let's go to the book of Numbers. Let's go to the book of Numbers. This is Numbers 24 and 20. All right, so this is the future. This is prophecy of the so-called Jew, okay, who calls himself Jewish, but he's really Amalek. All right, verse 20, Numbers 24 and 20 says, "And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever." Okay, and these so-called Jews, which call themselves Jewish, all right, their end is that they perish forever. okay? Because they're the first of the nations. They're going to bring on this third world war, okay? Starting with attacking Iran. That's why you see on the news, all the news is focused on demonizing the country of Iran, which are the Persians, and they can be read about in the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, and how Russia, okay, is going to come to their guard and be an ally unto them. So let's go to the book of Lamentations 4 and 21. It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee." And what is the cup? All right, the cup is slavery. Okay, let's go. The cup is slavery. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of Psalms. I think it's 75 real quick. Book of Psalms 75. Yeah, here it goes right here. Psalm 75 and 6 says, matter of fact, 5, it says, "Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck." Yeah, you Edomites, you speak, you're so proud, man. But guess what? Hey, don't lift your horn on high. Okay, speak not with a stiff neck. It says, "For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but Yahweh is the judge." So our power, Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, He's the judge. Okay, our power is the judge. It says, "He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth, shall wring them out and drink them." Okay, so the dregs of the cup, you're gonna drink of that slavery. Okay, you're gonna go into slavery. Pursuant to Revelation 13 and 9, it says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." Revelation 13 and 10. "He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." It says, "The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom." So the Lord is going to visit your wickedness. Okay, all of your wickedness that you have, the Lord is not going to forget. All right, the Lord Yahweh Bashim El Shah is not going to forget. And this is the end of these Edomites, so-called white people, man. All right, as for them being in rulership, for them being in a position of rulership. Okay, because the Lord is going to give, Yahweh is going to give Yahweh Shah the dominion in the earth, because he's the first created spirit. Okay. Let's see. Let's go. It says he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So all your wickedness that you perpetuate throughout the four corners of the earth, the Lord is going to visit these Edomites for it. Let's go back to a second. Let's go. This is Ezekiel 25 and 12. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh." See, this is a "therefore, thus saith the Lord," so it's going to happen. "I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword." And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is showing himself. That's why these Edomites are scared. All right, because the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua said, "I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom." Okay, and you got Edomites coming out to send the Edomites. Okay, and you got Edomites that are trying to come up against this word. All right, like the new network or news unit. All right, which what they're doing is nothing new. Okay, and it's going to be a lot more Edomites that's going to raise up. Okay, thinking that they're going to come up against the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The Most High probably has a dormant a disease in that man's body. All right, that's gonna reveal itself soon, man. All right, just like Antiochus Epiphanes, man. How did he die? He died stinking, man. All right. Ezekiel 25 and 14, it says, "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord. All right. And Yahweh Shem Shah is going to give his men, all right, dominion to do that. All right. As a matter of fact, let's go to Second Ezra, the 7th chapter. The second, let's see. In fact, give me a second. I'll just pull it out my sword real quick. Second Ezra, let's see, 7. Give me a second. I'm looking for it real quick. In the second Ezra 7 and 43, it says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of the immortality for it to come. See, when we get that immortality, hey, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah is going to really let us fulfill right here in Ezekiel 25 and 14. It says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people, Israel. So the Lord is going to take you out by thermonuclear destruction, which in the Bible, that it's also mentioned as the day of the Lord, the day of doom. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time. What time? The end of your rulership. You so-called white people, the end of your rulership. And the beginning of immortality for it to come, where corruption is past, because these are the corrupt times. You so-called white people have shown yourself to be corrupt. It's so bad in America that even you got your own so-called, you even got your own people calling you out on your wickedness, man, on the corruption. They want Trump so bad to drain the swamp because they know that the American government is saturated with corruption. All right? It's completely wicked. It said, wherein corruption is past, intemperance is at an end, and fidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. And what is part of the truth that's going to be sprung up in that day, after the day of doom? Now, we're the true children of Israel, man. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right? Let's go to the next. Oh, Satan. Hey, man, that's beautiful, man. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know? Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, I'll go to the next scripture. Where do I want to go? Oh, Amos. Book of Amos, I think it's Amos 1. Amos 1. What is it? Amos 1 and 11. Yeah, Amos 1 and 11 says, thus saith the Lord. Here's another thus saith the Lord. It says, for three transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity. And his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. See, even Esau's wrath, all right, he still hates us. He still hates us. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. Okay, so there goes Basra again, okay? Now, we have read that in the book of Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. And now we're going to go to Isaiah 63. We read that in Isaiah 63rd chapter. We're going to go to Isaiah 34. Isaiah 34. This is Isaiah 34 and 5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right, Idumea, all right, which is Greek for Edom, all right, are the people of the Lord's curse to judgment. Okay, they're the curse. As a matter of fact, let's go to I'm just hitting scriptures, man, through the spirit, man. Let's go to Zechariah. What is it? Zechariah 14, I believe, 14 and 12. Yeah, this is Zechariah 14 and 12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Now, Jerusalem represents Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which Jerusalem is the city of peace. Once the people of Israel, the true people of Israel, inhabit Jerusalem, all right, that's really going to fulfill and it's going to live up to his name, the city of peace, because there's going to be peace upon Israel. But everybody that had fought against Jerusalem, this is the plague that they're going to get. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So guess what? All of these wicked Edomites that want to come up against Yahweh Bashim al-Shah's men, all right, for them speaking the word which they were commanded, all right, at the mouth of the Heavenly Father to do, and they want to come up against it and fight against Jerusalem. Look, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And that's the judgment, okay, upon the wicked. All right. Malachi, the book of Malachi 4:1 says it. All right. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root or branch." So when that day come, all right, the day of doom, all right, the day that cometh that burn as an oven, okay, the day of the Lord, it's going to leave them neither root or branch. They're not going to be able to come back after that. Okay, they're not going to be able to come into power ever again. All right, and that's the beautiful thing about it. That's why we waiting on the Lord. That's why the scriptures say, "Wait ye upon me, saith the Lord." As a matter of fact, let's go to the book of Thessalonians. I think it's Second Thessalonians. Give me a second. I keep on getting it mixed up. But is it Second Thessalonians 2? This is Timothy. I'm sorry. Bear with me, brothers. Through the Spirit. What is it? Second Thessalonians 2. Yeah, Connie. Yeah, Second Thessalonians 2. Okay, it says, I'm going to start at 1. It says, "Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him." And is not the gathering taking place right now? All right. Now, Paul said, "I beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of the anointed is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." So we had the falling away. Okay, so it was a time that we fell away from our nationality. Okay, now we had the falling away. All right, and now we're in a time where the man of sin is revealed, and he's going to be revealed, the son of perdition, which the word perdition means destruction. And we know who that is. Okay, we know that that's Esau, Edom, starting with the top elites, the likes of, and you know, going back to the name Colonel Mandel House. He is just a pawn. He's not even at the top of the international banking, international bankers hierarchy. Okay, he was just a man to carry out the agenda, to basically to have the wealth of the American people, the American citizen, transferred over to the elite international bankers, Federal Reserve Bank, which is privately owned. Okay, he was one of the pivotal guys that helped, you know, commit that treachery. Okay, but he is of the line of Esau, Edom. Okay, it says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God." Why? Because, you know, he has all of this technology, all right, and he has all this influence over the people, and he gets off to that. Okay, these bankers, they get off to controlling the people. They have all the riches, okay, but they get off to being able to control the people and having the people think what they want them to think. All right, that's a God mentality, or ruling class mentality. All right, it says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. Okay? And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And Yahushua is going to take him out the way. Okay? And it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. Who is the mouth that the Lord is revealing it through his servants, the prophets. All right? And shall destroy them with the brightness of his coming. Okay, so he's going to take them out. He's going to take them completely out. Now let's go to Second Ezra, the sixth chapter, and we'll end with this. Okay, we'll end with this. All right, Second Ezra, sixth chapter, and the ninth verse. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, so I mean, basically, and as a matter of fact, let me go to Esau is the end of the world. Okay, Esau is the end of the world, and now these curses are coming upon Esau. Okay, all of these curses that are written in the book of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter. All right, they're catching hell now. All right, and we see it, and it's this is some beautiful times, man. All right, that's how, man. That's how you know that the Lord is real, man. The Lord from 2007 until this present time, Esau has been in decline, and we've been seeing his downfall being made manifest right before our eyes. Deuteronomy 37, it says, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And who persecuted us? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, starting with the Amalekites, which call themselves Jews, all right, or Jewish. All right, so with that, I just want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem HaKakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Until the next episode, Shalom.